Good morning. Let's get everything going here. Be objective. Trade what you see and not what you think. Don't look for an entry, look for understanding. Wait for the easiest entries when all of the context aligns. Focus solely on trading, forget other worries and thoughts. Remember, the market does not owe you anything, there does not have to be a trade, and the market is overall neutral. No looking at any other web pages or apps than the rule set and timer. Only take good PATS signal bars. Only take trades touching the EMA with longs above and shorts below unless you're coming off a proven trend or horizontal support resistance level. Don't take the first second entry after an overshoot or break into extreme. Need at least a higher low or lower high afterwards in order to take a trade. Context I'll take in a trend, looking for a break into extreme, or after the EMA is held strongly in a clear and obvious bias. I'm definitely considering taking this trade, but I'm unsure of this downtrend here. It already looks like 2 legs down, so I decided to skip on that and wait for some type of lower high or failed second entry. Context I'll take in a trend, looking for a break into extreme, or after the EMA is held strongly in a clear and obvious bias. Setups I'll take second entry, higher low, lower high, after second entry, failed second entry, higher low, lower high after 2 clear legs back. Enter for 1-to-1 risk reward at the signal bar high or low with a limit order or further back to have room before the previous highs, lows, support, or resistance. No trading 10 minutes before news events. No trading 3 minutes before or after the open. Let all the trades play out. No closing trades early. And short-term trends working back need at least one convincing break into extreme attempt, where I do not count break into extreme all in one bar. Oops, wrong one. So it looks like this trade would have worked out pretty well. So like I said, the reason that I decided not to is because I'm not sure about this downtrend. I mean, looking at it, it looks like I don't think anything wider like this is correct. I think that's too wide. I think if you come down here, that doesn't really look too right. Maybe you could look at this as a spiking channel, in which case maybe that's an overshoot. This also fits pretty well, but it fits pretty well on the channel line mainly, and then you're skipping all this right here. So honestly, maybe that spike in channel was the best option. Hard to say, but I'll look for a lower high or a failed second entry confirmation setup. And this is just looking range-like on the ES. It's a possible lower high, but that's a pretty strong little bullish push right there. Okay. So maybe this is an overshoot. It's just a weird structure. I don't really know what to think about this. Maybe it's really tight. That could make sense. Okay, so now it looks like 2 legs back. Maybe there's this uptrend, break new high. There might have been an early break in this downtrend. I think this actually fits pretty well. I think this is probably correct, but if there's a break in the overnight like that, I guess it's not really the overnight, that's pretty in the morning. But you could easily draw this a little bit like that and just say, that's no break. Anyway, I'll look for a lower high or failed second entry now, because it looks like 1, 2 legs back, lower high, failed second entry, looking for the break and new low. And it doesn't look like that's going to be an option. So didn't get that lower high or failed second entry there, unfortunately. Just moved straight down to the break and new low. And I'm looking at this as 2 legs down instead of a larger trend. possibility for a second entry short here. You have a uptrend with a break a new high, range-like behavior, spike down, first entry, possible second entry. So I'm at least going to prepare for that. Be objective, trade what you see and not what you think. Don't look for an entry, look for understanding. Wait for the easiest entries when all of the context aligns. Focus solely on trading, forget other worries and thoughts. Remember, the market does not owe you anything. There does not have to be a trade, and the market is overall neutral. No looking at any other web pages or apps in the rule set and timer. Only take good PATS signal bars. Only take trades touching the EMA with longs above and shorts below unless you're coming off a proven trend or horizontal support resistance level. Don't take the first second entry after an overshoot or break a new extreme. Need at least a higher low or lower high afterwards in order to take a trade. Context I'll take in a trend, looking for a break a new extreme, or after the EMA is held strongly in a clear and obvious bias. Setups I'll take second entry, higher low, lower high after second entry, failed second entry, or higher low, lower high after two clear legs back. Enter for 1-to-1 risk reward at the signal bar high or low with a limit order, or further back to have room before the previous highs, low, support, or resistance. No trading 10 minutes before news events, no trading 3 minutes before or after the open. Let all the trades play out, no closing trades early, and short-term trends working back need at least one convincing break and new extreme attempt before I'm willing to trade with the overall bias again. I do not count the break and new extreme all in one bar as this in this context. So, okay, prices are continuing to work lower even despite the break a new low here. So I'm starting to look for some sort of larger trend now. Something like this could be valid. It doesn't really look perfect though, so I'm not positive. You know, of course I could look for this kind of larger trend, which is the same thing actually. Maybe something like that is correct. So let's go ahead and take a look. At least then you have some touches on this side. So take a look at that. And now we have a break a new low of this downtrend. No chance to enter though. So I was hoping there'd be a bearish signal bar up here for the second entry short below the EMA, but that's not what we got. It's looking very range-like so far. Possible second entry short on CL. At this point, even though you have the break and new low for this downtrend, prices are clearly still continuing down. You can see they continue down even without coming back to the EMA. So I'm considering continuing to take shorts here on the CL. Let's go ahead and remove this on the ES. Looks like we'll probably be continuing higher on ES. If there is any support, it's probably about here. So I'd consider a second entry short here off the EMA with a good signal bar. Possible second entry long, downtrend break new low, uptrend break a new high, downtrend break a new low, uptrend looking for a break a new high. There's this pretty strong downtrend right here, and especially whenever you have these like sideways to kind of up style action, you want to be careful taking the next entry after a new high. So like, even though this isn't a break a new high, prices made a new high here, and typically they'll get like a pretty strong pullback like this. So I might still consider a second entry long though. And here I'm looking for shorts. I decided this downtrend probably fits a little bit better than that super wide one, because this kind of looks like a spike, and this could be a spike and channel down, where this is kind of holding here on the channel line. So I might consider some shorts here if prices are below the EMA. You have a first entry short. I wouldn't want to take the second entry short, but I might take a lower high or failed second entry. Looks like we probably won't get a chance to enter on the ES, unfortunately. Okay, maybe there will. So if that does go lower, touch the EMA, and give me a nice bullish bar, then there could be an entry there. Be objective, trade what you see and not what you think. Don't look for an entry, look for understanding. Wait for the easiest entries when all of the context aligns. Focus solely on trading, forget other worries and thoughts. Remember, the market does not owe you anything. There does not have to be a trade, and the market is overall neutral. No looking at any other web pages or apps in the rule set and timer. Only take good PATS signal bars. Only take trades touching the EMA with longs above and shorts below unless you're coming off a proven trend or horizontal support resistance level. Don't take the first second entry after an overshoot or break a new extreme. Need a higher low or lower high afterwards at least. Context I'll take in a trend, looking for a break a new extreme, or after the EMA is held strongly in a clear and obvious bias. Setups I'll take second entry, higher low, lower high after second entry, or higher low, lower high after 2 clear legs back. Enter for 1-to-1 risk reward at the signal bar high or low with a limit order, or further back to have room before the previous highs, low support or resistance if needed. No trading 10 minutes before news events, no trading 3 minutes before or after the open. Let all the trades play out, no closing trades early, and let short-term trends working back have at least one convincing break a new extreme attempt before you're willing to trade, I'm willing to trade with the overall bias again, where I do not count a break a new extreme all in one bar as a break a new extreme for this context at least. So I'm looking for a possible second entry long on the ES, and I'm looking for a possible lower high on CL. This looks like a downtrend to me. There's a first entry, break higher, second entry. Now we're below the EMA. So if we do get a lower high confirmation setup below the EMA with a nice bearish bar, then I would definitely consider that on CL. Here, we're looking for the breaking new high of this uptrend here. You have one leg back, you break higher. Now we're coming off the EMA, and we're getting a possible second entry long. So I would definitely consider this second entry long. Okay, looks like we might get a good signal bar here. For it to be nice and bullish. Okay, I think that's a good enough signal bar. So if it does break higher there, I'm going to go with it. Possible lower high there. Definitely concerning the momentum isn't really continuing, or isn't continuing at all. Like, this bar is just mainly an inside bar so far. There's no good signal bar on CL. Still ready for it just in case for the second entry long. Alright, drop that back. We are pushing the highs a little bit there, so maybe I should have dropped a limit order back just a tad. But let's see what happens here. Again, second entry long, looking for the break a new high of this uptrend here. Overall, we're kind of looking bullish after the uptrends have all played out. This downtrend plays out super early, so definitely an overall bullish slant to this, plus needing this break a new high of the uptrend. So I like the second entry long. We still have a possible lower high here. After the first entry, second entry, prices move below the EMA, and it looks like we might get a good lower high there. So we might actually enter two at the same time. Signal bar is not bearish, so nothing to do there. It's looking like we're triggering on this kind of bullish bar. So first entry, second entry, lower high triggers against this bullish bar here. So that's also a failed second entry because you have a new high, first entry, second entry. So no chance to enter there, unfortunately. So now you have a failed second entry short potential and a higher low after second entry confirmation. So that could be a decent setup there, although prices are starting to look pretty stacked here. So you can clearly see some congestion. You do make a new low here, so say first entry, possible second entry short here. Definitely a potential. Price is still kind of holding below the EMA there. Looks like they're in a downtrend. Not really getting a bearish bar. It's kind of stacked here as well. Looks like the EMA might hold here. It's really what got to look for here, just for the EMA to hold. We do have a first entry, second entry, failure, failure short. That's probably the better entry, to be honest. Better than the second entry, I think. Second entry I took is here. I think this failure is probably better. It's also a higher low confirmation setup of the second entry. But let's see if we can go ahead up there. Looking pretty sideways on CL. I think dropping a limit order back just a few ticks would have been the better option on this trade, because I did enter pretty far from the EMA and I'm pushing up into these highs, which is not ideal because prices could just tick higher and then turn around, especially given this kind of weak upward action. So maybe pushing the highs is more okay in a strong uptrend, but in a day like today, it's a little bit riskier. We'll see if prices can get up there. You can see how prices, after barely making this high, so after barely making this high, turned around. So we could see something similar. It looks like one, possible two legs back there. So we have the potential to maybe start taking some entries as prices return to this trend line. This looks like a double bottom to me. So if we did get a first entry and then second entry off this trend line, confirming it, then I might consider that. But ideally, we're going to push below the EMA and then start to get some entries there. Let's see if this trend line holds here. Again, it looks like two legs up. And it looks like we're getting so there's this congestion breakout. Price is attempting to hold the breakout pullback. So hoping price will just kind of surge up here. And again, this looks like one, two legs back. Price is looking to confirm this trend line. So if there is a second entry short here, so another kind of lower high, which would be a second entry short counting off this double bottom. It would also be a lower high after two clear legs up in a down bias. Then I would consider starting to take some shorts there. But this trend line needs to get confirmed. Ideally, we'll start seeing stuff below the EMA. So below the EMA would be ideal because that would kind of confirm the down action. But I might still be willing to take something above the EMA if prices do hold here and then get like a lower high off the same trend line. Okay, we're getting real close. We did make the break a new high for the uptrend, so there's a potential that we just turn around. Definitely should have dropped a limit order back just a little bit because this is definitely riskier taking it this way like I have. But let's see what happens. Hoping we can move on up there. Okay, definitely looking for second entry short. It's looking like this downtrend is going to hold. So looking for that lower high or the failed second entry. Not sure what prices are going to do here now that they've already made the break a new high. They could just clearly reverse. But I don't close trades early. This would probably be one where I would want to start looking at closing it early though, because the break a new high was met and my target still wasn't hit. Be objective. Trade what you see and not what you think. Don't look for an entry, look for understanding. Wait for the easiest entries when all of the context aligns. Focus solely on trading. Forget other worries and thoughts. Remember, the market does not owe you anything. There does not have to be a trade, and the market is overall neutral. No looking at any other web pages or apps than the rule set and timer. Only take good PATS signal bars. Only take trades touching the EMA with longs above and shorts below, unless you're coming off a proven trend or horizontal support resistance level. Don't take the first second entry after an overshoot or break a new extreme. Need at least a higher low or lower high afterwards.
Target filled.
And pick up where I left off here. Only take good PATS signal bars. Only take trades touching the EMA with longs above and shorts below, unless you're coming off a proven trend or horizontal support resistance level. It looks like we did get out here. Don't take the first second entry after an overshoot or break into extreme. Need a higher low or lower high afterwards. Context I'll take in a trend, looking for a break into extreme, or after the EMA is held strongly in a clear and obvious bias. I almost forgot to move my stop to break even there. So we're looking for a possible runner. Looks like this will probably get stopped though. Setups I'll take second entry, higher low, lower high after second entry, failed second entry, or higher low, lower high after two clear legs back. This is two clear legs back, looking for a lower high. This would also be, well, I guess it won't be really a second entry short anymore. Enter for 1-to-1 risk reward. Okay, so there we go. Our break even runner got stopped. Sorry about that, had to run for a second. So possible lower high here, but I think it might have moved a little bit too far. Clearly see the 2 legs back. I'm not sure. I think this is something that Thomas might take as a higher or lower high, but it kind of feels like it's moved a bit far for me. So I think I might wait on maybe a failure or a second entry short. Anyway, I was finishing up the rules here. Enter for 1-to-1, risk reward at the signal bar high or low with a limit order or further back to have room for the previous highs, low support or resistance. No trading 10 minutes before news events. No trading 3 minutes before or after the open. Let all the trades play out. No closing trades early. And short-term trends working backdate at least one convincing break into extreme attempt, where I do not count a break into extreme all in one bar. Okay, looking for a failure here. Again, I think that you might be able to take this lower high, but it just feels like it's moved a little bit far. It seems like Thomas doesn't really care whenever you move this far, but Mack definitely does. So I'm not sure what to think about that. And here, even though you've hit the breaking new high, prices are continuing to hold the EMA and move higher. So I might consider taking another second entry long or something of that nature. It's possible to have a trend like this. It feels kind of weird because there's that gap. There was that gap there. This gap, that's what I mean. Let's see if we get a failed second entry. That would definitely be interesting to me. So unfortunately, no failure there. So I think the only chance to enter would have been that lower high. But we might get a second entry short later on. Again, I'm just unsure about whether you can take a lower high this far. I think Thomas would say yes, but Mack would probably say no. So I don't really know. And I would consider taking a second entry long here, because even after you had the break a new high here, prices still continued to push up off the EMA and continue higher. I don't know if this uptrend is correct or not, and honestly I don't really care if it is. Prices are clearly, again, just holding this EMA, so there might be a second entry long there. Be objective. Trade what you see and not what you think. Don't look for an entry, look for understanding. Wait for the easiest entries when all of the context aligns. Focus solely on trading. Forget other worries and thoughts while you're here at the screen. I'm going to wait a second and kind of analyze this one. So it is technically a second entry long. The prices are starting to look really, really sideways. You can see there's kind of this triple test up here. This uptrend I definitely have very little faith in. I don't really love that uptrend. I don't know if this is a trend where I really want to be pushing the highs. I mean, I did it back here and I don't think it was really the best idea to do that. And taking it so close into the highs, so like, I don't know, maybe. I think if I do take one here, I'm gonna have to drop a limit order back a tad, maybe like right there. Is a second entry long and a failed second entry short. I think if it breaks higher, I'm gonna try that one out. Okay, I'll drop a limit order back just a little bit. I don't know why I deleted that. It's low risk. I think there's a possibility. It's a second entry long. It's also a failed second entry short. The EMA has been holding. Like I said, it's pretty low risk there. Getting out before the highs. I think it's worth at least giving it a shot. It's not the best trade ever though, in my opinion. Could even be better than this one though, to be honest. Let's see if we can get out. Looks like I could have even gotten a limit order a little further back here. One tick further currently. Come on. Again, second entry long. It's also a failed second entry short. I'm very uncertain about this uptrend, but clearly prices have been holding the EMA. And there's an up bias, so small enough risk. I think it's at least worth a shot. We're getting pretty close. Come on. We have a possible second entry short forming on the CL. This is getting to be kind of a strong leg back though. Come on. This resistance might just be too much here. Looks like that's what prices are kind of bumping up into. Definitely looking wedge-like. I'd say that's a more aggressive trade for sure. Looks like prices really want to push up and through there. I mean, they're struggling to get back to the EMA. Just kind of caught at the resistance. So close. One tick away. Just ready to move my stop up if prices push through there.
Target filled.
There we go. All right, so see if we can get a runner on that. Then waiting for a possible second entry short here off the EMA. And I'll trail this runner as much as I can. Just put this way up there. And I'll just trail this behind as hopefully we can just get some higher lows and I can keep trailing it. I'm swinging to see if we can get a nice runner on here. I mean, even that alone would have been a pretty nice runner. Just taking it a little bit higher up there. I mean, yeah, nothing crazy, but a decent runner. But I'm swinging it to see if we can make a higher low here and continue upwards. But it looks like we might just get stopped out. Okay, looks like there's a news event there. Wonder what's going on. I looked at the news and I didn't see any news events, so I'm not sure, but it definitely looks like on CL prices are doing something here. I need to look into what news events affect the CL, because I know which ones affect the ES, but CL might be a little bit different. Obviously it's a little bit different. I'll move that up one tick, so it's one tick behind this low here. So, you know, it's not like I've really made a difference doing that. Looks like the EMA might hold, so we might actually get some kind of runner here. So you definitely don't want to take a long here. It's been all down. It's just a correction here. It could even be an overshoot. Could easily just be overshoot. In fact, I'm leaning towards that. So I'll probably just wait until this correction kind of plays out. I might even look for a failed second entry below the EMA. Looks like there's some kind of resistance up here. So definitely considering a failed second entry, looking for the break a new low of this downtrend. Oh, okay, it's a very bullish bar, so I'd say chances are a little bit lower now, unless you do kind of confirm that downtrend there. Get a bearish bar, it's a possibility. Okay, maybe. So no bearish bar, not below the EMA. Yeah, it's unfortunate, of course. No bearish bar, but prices go down pretty much immediately after. Not surprised. Looking for this break a new low, hoping that maybe we'll get a second entry short. And unless prices really shoot up here, I'd say probably won't get any kind of runner here. If they do shoot up, I'll go ahead and move up my stop below this swing. See what we can do. I'm looking for a second entry short below the EMA here. Be objective, trade what you see and not what you think. Don't look for an entry, look for understanding. Wait for the easiest entries when all of the context aligns. Focus solely on trading, forget other worries and thoughts. Remember, the market does not owe you anything. There does not have to be a trade, and the market is overall neutral. No looking at any other web pages or apps than the rule set and timer. Only take good PATS signal bars. Only take trades touching the EMA with longs above and shorts below, unless you're coming off a proven horizontal support or proven trend or horizontal support resistance level. Just like had a brain fart there. Don't take the first second entry after an overshoot or break into extreme. Need at least a higher low or lower high afterwards. Context I'll take in a trend, looking for a break into extreme or after the EMA is held strongly in a clear and obvious bias. Setups I'll take, second entry, higher low, lower high after second entry, failed second entry, or higher low, lower high after 2 clear legs back. Enter for 1-to-1 risk reward at the signal bar high or low with a limit order, or further back to have room for the previous highs, lows, support, or resistance if needed. No trading 10 minutes before news events, no trading 3 minutes before or after the open. Let all the trades play out, no closing trades early, and short-term trends working back need at least one convincing break into extreme attempt where I don't count a break into extreme all in one bar as a break into extreme, at least in this context. So there's a possible second entry short forming, but prices did push up and above the EMA, so it's really gotta, kind of push below here and have that second entry. But there are, possible entries. You could get a second entry, you could get a lower high after a second entry. This would be kind of the two that I'm looking for. This is possibly a proven resistance level, so maybe even consider taking something off that. Honestly, the only one that I'm confident is like a really good trade is that failed second entry. The 2 second entries that I took are both kind of, they're okay. A little bit more aggressive, I think. Okay, so we are kind of moving up here. If we break this high, I'll go ahead and probably move my stop below this swing here, which again doesn't net me too much more than I already have there. I'm looking for a second entry short. So that's our first entry. Prices close below the EMA, and they move up, test the EMA, and get a bearish bar. That's what I'm looking for there. Looking for the break a new low of this downtrend ultimately. Oops. It looks like that's not what we're going to get, unfortunately. It's actually starting to kind of look like a strong uptrend. Lots of small bars working higher, prices struggling to break through the EMA, and really moving my stop up doesn't really gain me too much. So I think I'm just going to leave it where it is and see if I can milk this a little bit more. I'm afraid by moving it here, that's a little bit too tight, and prices could easily come back and get me out because it's still kind of like right at the EMA. But this is, if prices do continue higher, this is starting to look like a strong uptrend. Okay, there's the possibility for a second entry short here. So you had your first entry, possible second entry off this resistance level that I actually might consider entering. It's pretty proven. We're looking for this break a new low of the downtrend, tick higher there. So if we do get like a pretty nice bearish bar, then I might be willing to take that. It doesn't look like that's what we're gonna get though. Okay, so we did close up and through there, so I'm gonna wait on possibly a failed second entry. Lower high would probably move too far, again, similar to this by this point. So that's kind of what I was scared of. Is, you know, if I did move it one tick below this swing, it's pretty easy for prices to come back and fill that. But it's a little bit harder for them to come all the way back down here through the EMA. And this is, obviously prices are holding the EMA, so I want to just keep riding this if I can and see if prices will kind of get another burst upwards. Or maybe a few bursts upwards. It's even kind of looking like something like this could be correct. It skips a lot of price action here though. I'm going to go with this. I think we're up into all-time highs. I think that might be part of why prices are looking a little bit weary here. Okay, and this one's clearly going to continue to work higher. So I'm just going to wait on a failed second entry below the EMA, or for a strong push down, and then to look to continue to go short there, like on a second entry short or something of that nature. But right now I'm going to wait for these two kind of broader legs to play out. I do think this downtrend is correct. I think we're looking for a break a new low of this. So just kind of waiting for that. And now that we're breaking higher there, I'm going to go ahead and move this up, lock in just a little bit more, see if we can keep riding this thing. Just keeping it pretty loose there, and hoping that we can catch a nice runner. Again, this is starting to really resemble a strong trend with lots of small bars working higher. Boom, okay, yeah, we shot on up there. Now this is starting to look like a decent runner. And of course it's tempting to just go ahead and take profits, because I mean, you know, 8 points is nothing to scoff at. But you just never know. And I made this mistake the last time I was trading a runner, where I just took it really early and there was just so much more on the table. So I'm just going to keep trailing it behind and see what I can get. This is pretty typical of a pretty strong uptrend, where you just get these really shallow corrections, small doji bars continuing to kind of work higher, prices struggling to go below the EMA, and then you get these little pushes out of nowhere. Push, push. Be objective. Trade what you see and not what you think. Don't look for an entry, look for understanding. Wait for the easiest entries when all of the context aligns. Focus solely on trading, forget other worries and thoughts. Remember, the market does not owe you anything, there does not have to be a trade, and the market is neutral. No looking at any other web pages or apps than the rule set and timer. Only take good PATS signal bars. Only take trades touching the EMA with longs above and shorts below, unless you're coming off a proven trend or horizontal support resistance level. Don't take the first second entry after an overshoot or break a new extreme. Need at least a higher low or lower high afterwards. Context I'll take in a trend, looking for a break in new extreme, or after the EMA is held strongly in a clear and obvious bias. Setups I'll take second entry, higher low, lower high after second entry, failed second entry, or higher low, lower high after two clear legs back. Enter for 1-to-1 risk reward at the signal bar close, at the signal bar high or low with a limit order, or further back to have room before the previous highs, lows, support, or resistance. No trading 10 minutes before news events. No trading 3 minutes before or after the open. Let all the trades play out, no closing trades early, and short-term trends working back need at least one convincing break and new extreme attempt, where I don't count a break and new extreme all in one bar as that in this specific context. Again, this is looking like two broader legs back on CL. Still looking for this break in new low. I'm looking for a failed second entry short or failed second entry long below the EMA potentially. Could just be a straight up reversal here. Getting close to that 60-ish% retracement. That's the point wherever I start to say, okay, maybe we're not going to get the retest. Okay, we're getting another push higher there. Tempted to go ahead and pull the stop up here. And I probably will if prices do continue higher. But I really want to hold on to this runner as much as I can. I think there's a really, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I think there's a really good chance that prices continue up for a while, and this is starting to look like a really strong trend. I want to see if I can milk this for a while. That would lock in a nice profit though. Let's see. Well, 4.5 points is nothing crazy, to be honest. It's just a low ATR. Okay, I'll go ahead and move that. Wow, this is starting to look very, very strong. Look at that. It's very, very tempting to go ahead and take the runner. It's like 11 points. It's not bad at all. But I think I should just keep milking it, keep trying at least. It's tough to say. I'm going to keep it going. This is, again, just looking like too strong of a trend to give up on it now. Wow, that's very, very strong. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I think that's my spot. I think I'm going to take that. Start trailing it one behind this. Yep. All right, I'll take that. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't want to give up all of that in case prices do come back down, because that's a pretty strong, possible exhaustive move. We got really far away from the EMA. I mean, if prices came back all the way to the EMA here, I don't know. Maybe I should have held on to it. I don't know. Whatever. I'm pretty happy with that though. 13-point runner. We'll see whether that was the right decision to go ahead and lock that in or not. Okay, we're getting the possible failed second entry setup after the two broad legs up. So you can see 1, 2 broad legs up. And now I'm looking for a failed second entry below the EMA. Okay, I think I made the right decision to take that. Because at this point I probably would have trailed it behind this next bar. It looks like Bryce are probably going to take that one out. I don't know. We'll see. There's no point in, you know, regretting or looking back on whether I should or shouldn't have. I mean, I made the decision. It's over. Just move on. Okay, well, maybe I should have trailed it. Because it is looking like Versus didn't stop that that out right there below that bar. So it could have been a little bit premature. Again, not like it really matters, but that's easier said than done. Be objective, trade what you see and not what you think. Don't look for an entry, look for understanding. Wait for the easiest entries when all of the context aligns. Focus solely on trading, forget other worries and thoughts. Remember, the market does not owe you anything, there does not have to be a trade, and the market is neutral. No looking at any other web pages or apps than the rule set and timer. Only take good PATS signal bars. Only take trades touching the EMA with longs above and shorts below unless you're coming off a proven trend or horizontal support resistance level. Don't take the first second entry after an overshoot or break a new extreme. Need at least a higher low or lower high afterwards. Context I'll take in a trend, looking for a break a new extreme, or after the EMA is held strongly in a clear and obvious bias. Setups I'll take, second entry, higher low, lower high after second entry, failed second entry, or higher low, lower high after two clear legs back. Enter for 1-to-1 risk reward at the signal bar high or low with a limit order or further back to have room before the previous highs, lows, support, or resistance. No trading 10 minutes before news events. No trading 3 minutes before or after the open. Let all the trades play out, no closing trades early. Short-term trends working back need at least one convincing break a new extreme attempt, or I do not count break a new extreme all in one bar in that context. Sometimes that does count, but just in the sense of taking a trade, I don't count that. It's just looking like this trend is still alive and well. So I'm going to pull it in. This is definitely starting to resemble a just straight up reversal, because you've now retraced that 60-some%, and even though you had these two legs up and you've already had the break in new high, price to continue to work higher. So I don't think a larger trend like this would necessarily be correct. There could be maybe something like this. This could actually just be a spike in channel. Which also fits. I don't know, I think I like the regular channel better. So again, if I had kept trailing this one, then I could have gotten a little bit more out of it. Possibly a lot more out of it. We'll have to see where prices go. So potential that I should have held this longer. I think I'm just going to go ahead and call it though. I'm pretty happy with that today. That's pretty solid. I won't be trading tomorrow, so I figured it out. Yeah, that's the day that I won't be trading. I have an event to go to during the day, so unfortunately it won't be on then. But yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday.